They say all is fair in love and war, but all is not fair. Why do the good die young? Why does evil prosper? In this series, love and war find their beginning.
You knock these buildings down, we'll hear all of us.
Birds literally dropped from the sky.
But scientists warn the worst is yet to come.
Only by knowing their past do we get clues as to how the story ends.
Every night on the TV news is like a nature hike through the book of Revelation.
This is only the beginning.
Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. How quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
How does this story end? Imagine a planet in chaos. Ancestors, friends, family, all of our loved ones appearing to come back from the dead and starting to appear all over the world, making contact with us. Or how about diseases being healed instantly, yet war is raging and nature is seemingly out of control? The argument will be raised that this all could end if that one little group of traitors, those rebels claiming conscience over culture, would just fall in line. Their supposed fidelity, well, it's spiraling the world into extinction. Pen cannot picture, word cannot describe what lies before us. As the calamities continue and nature rips apart at the seams, the economy struggles to maintain our temporal prosperity, could America's lawmakers eventually feel as though they have no other choice than to appease the protesters on both sides? One side who sees anything as progress in the name of preventing environmental catastrophe. The other to appease what they claim is an angry God offended by the moral decay of society. The truth is, the one most Christians describe as God today is no better than Baal, the sun god of Phoenicia. If the way you describe something or someone is not actually who that person or thing is, then it's a fantasy and it's not real. And for a time, it will seem that new laws to appease the masses at the expense of the few are the solution. Lucifer will make it appear like that anyway. Imagine if new laws were enacted in America and the calamities and pestilences ceased. Then the rest of the world would follow and remove liberty of conscience in a moment, if that truly is all that was needed to stop this crisis. And then imagine that while this is happening, the future citizens of Jannah, that's you and I, will be sharing a contrarian message that all will hear loud and clear. When someone gets on the microphone, just imagine, and they declare peace and security, peace and safety, that's usually the time to be concerned. It's only the intervention of the guardians that keeps global chaos from breaking out today. In the last crisis, we are told many will lose their lives. Many will be imprisoned for their desire to stand for principle. But this is not new. Men and women, boys and girls in history, whoever stands for something, they often lay down their lives so that the tree of liberty is refreshed from time to time with the blood of the saints. But anyone who stands for principle and conscience will see their reward. Perhaps not immediately, but one day. And we are promised at that time that any who are imprisoned will be visited by the guardians. At that time, many will hear the message loud and clear, mostly by what they witness more than the words they hear. Babylon and all of her systems of selfishness and corruption, greed and evil will be laid open for all to see, and in a moment, she will be no more. The book of the Revelation tells us that there will be 7 judgments poured out on the world, on all those who chose selfishness over love. To all who thought they could save themselves, they will be sorely disappointed. In the streets of Jannah, there will be no song sung to me that loved myself, washed myself, redeemed myself. Unto me be glory and honor, blessing and praise. But this is the keynote of the song that is sung by many here in this world. They do not know what it means to be meek and lowly in heart, and they do not mean to know this if they can avoid it. In light of the fact that so many claim the name of Christian and yet deny it in their actions, there's going to be some surprises in Jannah. There will be many who have never even heard the names of Yeshua or Jah. But these rescued ones have cherished the principles they learned in nature and from what was revealed to them, mostly through the revelation of dreams. Some will ask Yeshua when they meet him for the first time, "What are these wounds in your hands?" And the response from him will be, "Oh, I got these in the house of my friends." And once rescued from a planet in chaos, we're told we will live in the city of Jannah for 1,000 years. During that time, all will have the chance to ask the hard questions. Where's my friend, my son, my sister, my father, my husband, my wife, my boyfriend, my girlfriend? There we will make sense of all that has not made sense here. And then after that, we are told we will return to this earth. The city of Jannah will relocate to Earth 2.0. And when we return, we are told we will see the world in ruins. The cities that Lucifer destroyed, everything. Yeshua will raise the dead of all ages, but Lucifer will make it appear that he has been the one who raised them with his power. And Lucifer will marshal the armies of all the earth for one last battle. In this moment, he will not state who he is, yet he still is hiding behind a disguise. He will claim to be the prince, the rightful ruler of the world, that he is their redeemer, and he will now rescue them from the invaders who are coming in the golden city of Jannah. He points them to the millions around and how they clearly outnumber the fewer in the city. And then Lucifer will work miracles. The giants of old, the brilliance of ages gone by, all will be on display. Kings, generals who conquered nations, ambitious warriors whose approach made kingdoms tremble, all will be ready for battle. They pick up the train of thought that they had just before falling in battle. And that same desire of survival of the fittest and a desire to conquer, flooding their mind, and they will all plan one last attack. Those in the city will be watching, and this will take some time. But strangely enough, we're told that the gates of the city will be open this entire time, yet no one will enter. The billions outside of the city will instead make weapons of war. Generals will marshal all into companies and divisions, but then something will arrest their attention up in the sky. Like a panorama film, all will watch this story that I've been sharing with you, and it will be repeated. All will see the part that they acted. All will see when they made that decision to turn from love and accept selfishness and desire as their ruling principle. Yeshua will stand up and reveal those closest to the throne as those who were once the most zealous in the cause of Lucifer. The coronation of the King of all kings, Yeshua, takes place. All will bow down and acknowledge this is just and true. Even Lucifer will recall the moment he chose selfishness over love. Everyone from all ages will be watching this moment. Yeshua will then declare, "Behold, the purchase of my blood, for these I suffered, for these I died, that they might dwell in my presence throughout eternal ages." In this moment, millions will turn and look at their spiritual leaders. Many pastors, priests, imams, spiritual leaders who've misled them. And Lucifer believes that perhaps even now he can stir up a revolt, and as he attempts it, he's finally unmasked. All the earth turn on him, and in this moment it will all end at the mercy of Yeshua. After this moment, every tear will be wiped away. Those in the city will watch the earth be recreated, much more beautiful than ever before. We're told we will have a place in the city and a place on our own land outside of the city, with animals to love, not to eat, food to enjoy, friends to enjoy it with. If you like to travel now, imagine the destinations to explore, the food, the adventure. Every faculty will be developed, every capacity increased. The acquirement of knowledge will not weary the mind or exhaust the energies. There, the grandest enterprises may be carried forward, the loftiest aspirations reached, the highest ambitions realized, and still there will arise new heights to surmount, new wonders to admire, new truths to comprehend, fresh objects to call forth the powers of mind and soul and body. If you can find joy here, you will find it tenfold there. All you've ever dreamed of and yet been unsatisfied with here will be a reality there. That's the end of our story. Thank you for taking the time to watch and listen. I imagine you probably have some questions, at least I hope you do. And I just want to say thank you to everyone that made this possible and made it a reality. And they all did it for one reason, so I could ask you this question. If this is true, what does it mean to you? If this story is true, which side of this conflict do you currently find yourself on? Which side do you want to be found on? If what you've heard is even intriguing, I want to invite you to continue this journey, but if what you've heard is not for you, then at least you can better understand some of the ideas and concepts that are shaping world events and geopolitics today and perhaps tomorrow. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be honored to answer your questions. I'm Jared, and I look forward to what awaits us.